Hello, parents. Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Yes, welcome to my webinar. I'm glad that the parent community has joined today. This webinar is definitely going to support you in your child learning through play at home. I can just wait for a couple of more minutes and we can begin.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you, ma'am.
That's nice.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then I guess we can begin. This webinar is specially designed for parents to support parents for during to inquire through play during online learning. Now, being an experienced early years teacher, I mean, being in this career for almost 16 years, and then we have parents here and even people who from the outside community, they do ask this question that how do you conduct an inquiry with early years. Now inquiry is a word which is very commonly used in the IB community, and I'm sure now our parents are also aware of it. Learning through research, through finding out, through curiosity is of course inquiry. And I can proudly say, being an early years teacher for so many years, that yes, with a big smile on my face, I can say, yes, it is not only possible, but it is also very, very, very authentic. Young children are born curious learners. They have such curious minds. They have so many questions to ask us. So I think inquiry is something that comes very naturally to them. And of course, play. Play, I believe, is not meant only for the young ones, like the toddlers, but also I'm sure so many of us adults also enjoy play, enjoy some leisure time, enjoy spending our time or unwinding through play. So play is not a very, very important part of, I think, a life, everyone's life, especially during these difficult times. Now, being said that, if you are aware of the IB curriculum and IB pedagogy, the IB believes in play-based learning methodology for our early years in the PYP setting. And but what do you mean by play? Play is such a commonly used word, but often misinterpreted. So let us look at what does play-based learning actually means through the lens of the IB. We can watch a small video over here to understand what is play-based learning in the early years.
Ma'am, audio is not there.
Okay, just a minute. I might have to just a minute. Okay. Thank you for yes.
Welcome.
I might have to stop sharing and do it again. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome to our Early Learning Centre,
Can you hear
a
it now,
haven
ma'am?
for concept-driven, inquiry-based learning.
Thank you.
As a PYP school, learning is supported by 4 central features of early years learning: play, relationships, learning spaces, and symbolic exploration and expression. Our central idea: we learn through our relationships with others and our environment, provides learners with carefully considered opportunities for both student-initiated play as well as teacher-initiated experiences. Play is supported by strong relationships. While interacting with teachers and other students, our learners build confidence as they explore and push the boundaries of their learning. As PYP early years educators, we follow learners' play to track their understanding of the central idea. With the added PYP perspective, we recognise how students self-regulate during play and offer support and feedback when needed. For example, we can think about and develop the approaches to learning and the attributes of the learner profile in our learners. The learning spaces we create for play have a critical role in supporting our PYP school's emphasis on agency through voice, choice and ownership. We often see our students focused for long periods of time when they are fully engaged, but they are free to move from one play situation to another. This group of enthusiastic students has been building a model of our school using the blocks for a few days, and our educators are watching and listening for opportunities to add to their learning. A final feature of a PYP early years learning community is the opportunity for symbolic exploration and expression. Through play involving stories, music, drama and visual arts, we see young learners build their literacy and numeracy skills. We hear, see and feel learning everywhere. There is a very serious conversation taking place in this veterinary clinic. It appears a prescription is required. Children and their teachers collaborate on how learning spaces are created and enhanced. It's not a master-novice relationship in early years. Instead, our young learners are coached so they develop their instincts for inquiry and curiosity. So, you can see how the 4 features of the PYP framework are interconnected and provide an enriching experience for early years learners.
Thank you for watching. Before we dive deep into this webinar, I would like to tell you that this webinar is entirely based on a very extensive research by the IB regarding inquiry through play in the early years. And we have got, they have been through a lot of data to understand how children inquire through play. Okay, all right. So our webinar focus would be on why inquiry through play is important. What does inquiry through play look like, and learning at home inquiry through play, which I think would be the most interesting and engaging part for our parents. I'm sure the video has given you a very good idea what play-based learning actually looks like in the early years. Which the play which would seem a very ordinary, at home, maybe even if it is not a guided play in the school, can, uh, you know, uh, wouldn't mean that the inquiry is not happening. The inquiry is very much happening, and we are going to see how it is happening today. So we have understood what is inquiry and what is play today. But unless and until we don't understand that why inquiry through play is important, we will not focus on giving importance to inquiry through play at home. So let's look at why inquiry through play is important. Now, uh, if you're aware of the IB program, you know that learning in the primary years program is based on approaches to learning skills, which are called as the ATL skills in the IB. These skills are aimed to support children of all ages to become learners who know how to ask good questions, set effective goals, and pursue their aspirations. The ATL skills that the IB believes in are the thinking skills, the research skills, the communication skills, the social skills, and the self-management skills. Of course, you must have seen it in the video also how the everyday learning is developing these skills. Now, the next, but not the less important part is well-being through play. And it is such an important aspect, especially during this difficult times. In addition to developing such skills, play is important for social, emotional, physical, and mental well-being of our children. As our world is constantly changing, play is significant for children to have a joyful channel to reduce their anxiety that comes with such change. I'm sure you believe this. And of course, children are curious and capable learners with a natural sense of agency. And agency, I'm sure you know, agency is taking ownership for one learning. So a play brings in rich rich questions and more potential for learning and understanding of learning of what they are learning. So this is why inquiry through play is a very important aspect in the early years. We will have time at the end of the session for questions. So if you have any queries coming up in your mind, do note them down. We will be answering them at the end of this session. All right. So next is, what does inquiry through play look like? To understand that, we would have to understand what are the 5 key characteristics of play. Of course, these have been identified by the UNICEF and the Lego Foundation in a research done in 2018. Play is meaningful. Children play to make sense of the world around them and to find meaning in an experience by connecting it to something already known. This is one of the main characteristics of play. Through play, children express and understand their understanding of their experiences. The second characteristic is, of course, play is joyful. Of course, play may have its frustrations and challenges, but the overall feeling is one of enjoyment, motivation, and of course, lots of pleasure. Third, play is actively engaging. When you watch children playing, and you will usually see that they become deeply involved, often becoming physical, engaging in physical, mental, and verbal, conversations and talks. Play is repetitive. Okay, play is repetitive means you can say play is movement. It is not static. It is not constant. Children play to practice skills, to try out new possibilities. They try to revise their hypothesis and discover new challenges, which of course leads to deeper learning. The last is, play is socially interactive. Play allows children to communicate ideas, to understand others through social interaction, paving the way to build deeper understanding and more powerful relationships. Let us look at the continuum of play. Now, what are the different types of play and the different types of experiences? We have looked at the different types of play. Now let us look at what kind of are the different experiences. There is a type of play which is free play, which is child-led, mostly child-led. That is what the child is allowing himself to do. Second is guided play, which is of course child-led, but there is adult scaffolding, or you can say adult supervision there. And then there are games which are designed by, of course, as adults, and we have a set rule for them to play. And then there are direct plays which are designed by adults and also controlled by adults, and which of course definitely they add quite a few restrictions to play. So these are the different play experiences and the different kinds of play. Okay. So free play is like mentioned, is described often by a method, you can say an experience where the child is uh, there are no rules. There are no rules, and then they can involve others, they can be themselves, and they are learning a lot. So I can give you a few examples, like what actually free play means. It's not just running around and playing on the seesaw. Free play would include materials. There would be a lot of materials. These can be commercially produced, like example board games, or paints, or Lego, or puzzles, or items found around the home, which the child can use in an open-ended way. The items can be like clothing, scarves, or materials for imaginative play. Maybe there can be some old boxes, containers for construction or craft. There can be small objects such as stones or shells, for sorting and counting. So there are many These are the materials, of course, which we use a lot in classroom learning too, as you're aware of it. Then the space is equally important. Now, this could be either indoors or outdoors. It can be a small or cozy or large and spacious, depending upon your house. Okay. Even a small cozy nook, like under the table covered with a blanket, can provide just as much engagement and excitement as lots of space. Then time. Giving children extended and uninterrupted time to play allows children to become deeply involved in their play. Being okay with some mess is another thing, like play is seldom tidy and contained. A small house made with blocks quickly becomes a whole town. Like, they can build up a city with complicated road systems, shops, and many other facilities. Then, of course, another important thing is join in play. You know, but then you have to be careful to respect the children's rules and decisions, supporting the play rather than leading it. There are many benefits to joining into your child's play, that you can actually talk to your child during play. You can show them the different values. You can assess the child's current knowledge. You can make so many new connections. You can model behavior that support the child in continuing their play, such as being resilient or solving problems and taking turns, teaching them values, and of course, developing the ATL skills of the IB. Okay. Now, learning at home and inquiry through play is something that I am sure that you all are looking forward to it. As you can see, the text that I have put up on the slide, that for this, you need to be guided by your child. This is the part where I would really want parents to pay attention, so that you can really make the most out of inquiry through play at home. Where your child, there are many things that your child can be curious of, like things in the kitchen, and then there are different things, right, that are lying around the house. And maybe having a bath. One of our parents shared this during our parent teacher session the other day, that the child carries it's her toys into the washroom, into the bathroom while having a bath, and she makes up stories. And of course, the stories reflect her learning. So that is such a important thing, because now the child is creating her own stories. So that is allowing them to do what they want to, is so important. And of course, role play is something that you can do. I can give you one tip, that y'all can create a junk box, maybe, where you can add a lot of things to it that you think are not useful for you, but I'm sure they will give your child so much more joy. The children, they would love to do role play dressing up. You can put up boxes of clothes and shoes and see what characters your child decides to become. You can help them to make any accessories, what they need, from old cardboard or paper or material around the house. And you can really watch sometimes, as I've seen in my student, the characters from your recent stories that you have read to your child really pop up in their role play. And or something that they have watched on television, and it can lead to a beautiful storytelling and drama session. And this has actually happened, and I will very soon share this with you all. Okay, then maybe what you can do, these stories that your child reads or watches, you can actually create it into a game. For example, there is a story Bear Hunt by Michael Rosen, where you can actually go on a bear hunt, with your child. Of course, a make believe bear hunt with some sound effects, and you can make cardboard binoculars, and you can go out in the garden and just try searching for a bear. Um, and then, of course, the most popular one is making cardboard boxes, using cardboard boxes to make caves or playhouse for the children. They can be used to make tunnels too. If you don't have boxes, you can use only a blanket put on your table is a very good alternative too. And a torch. A torch can spark curiosity about night and day, or day and light and dark. And also it can be used in a dark room to explore the importance of all your senses. So, and of course, you can also explore um, through the different the soft toys that you have at home. They can become characters of for beautiful play or game, that would be really wonderful. And maybe you could have a picnic with those soft toys, and when you go out for hunt or something. So these are just a few ideas that which can help you to conduct an inquiry through play. Now, I would like to give you a very specific example today over here about how a treasure hunt can, you make you engage in different skills also. Now, you must have experienced this in your classroom activities, that we ask our children to go on a scavenger hunt or look for hunt for things around the house. Maybe you could also do that, and you can watch how the thinking and communication skills of your child develop. Let's see. I'm going to use this example of treasure hunt with just of four different skills. Now you can go around the home. First one I'm giving you, where you can go around the home with your child and a box, and ask your child to choose 15 or more objects from different rooms. As you go, chat about how some of their choices about their choices, and have your child sort them into groups in whatever way you want to. For example, they might choose size or color, or the room that they came from, or have a different way, such as who they belong to. So this is how you can sort the treasure. So this is where you can develop your data handling skills and your thinking skills. Then comes our communication skill, which is talking and learning. You can ask your child about their thinking. I wonder how you decided to sort these. Why do you think these go together? Were any of these tricky to decide? Why was that? You can pose some questions like this. Maybe, can you think of another way to sort them? Have your child talk to another family member or a friend. They could ask them to sort these things in a different way and explain their own thinking. And this becomes your child, this child's interests can lead to learning. The third can be making literacy connections. Your child might want to draw and label some of their objects, or to make a tiny book of big and small things. Or if they choose a different way to sort their objects, they could use their ideas to look for books about size on in any of the online libraries. Or maybe I can also share a lot of websites with you. And of course, they can also visit an online museum to go on a hunt for big and small things. Then mathematical thinking, where thinking skills come into force. You could ask your child to think about the size of objects and sort them by size. You can ask your child which group is bigger, which is smaller, and how does he or she know about it. You can ask them how they could find, how could they find out. You could talk about bigger and smaller in terms of weight also, and that is that you can talk about heavy and light with them. So imagine how many doors a play opens up for you. I'm sure that these ideas or these experiments, or you can say our learnings that I have shared today with you, and of course with a lot of resources from the IB, will definitely help you, to learn, the child to learn at home, of course through play, and quite through play. If you need online resources, I have tons and tons of them. Just let me know. I will share an entire list of these resources with you. They are definitely going to be, they will prove very helpful for your child. Yes, like I said, I would like to acknowledge the IBO for all the resources that they have provided us, and of course this deep extensive research into play-based learning. So does anyone have any questions for me? Anything that you would like to know, maybe something you found interesting, something you found confusing? Or maybe you need help with something. Anyone?
Ma'am, this is Mangala.
Yes.
I love the information that you have shared about playing with the kids. It was quite interesting. And also I do implement some of the playing tricks with my child and child friends, because together with friends it It will be interesting to my kid also.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually very quite aware of it, and that is actually the reason why we can see that growth. Even though the children are not attending school, so I can see that in Chinmay, the growth is very visible, uh, and somewhere as a teacher I have also understood that you are using these strategies maybe consciously or unconsciously, but and I really commend you for that. So ma'am, did you identify with what we discussed today? I mean, the
Yeah,
what
yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah, ma'am. Most of the things we do at home. So
yes,
sometimes when she get the holidays, like we tell them, bring some things, anything from the home, and
yes.
talk about that particular thing. So she goes on. They go, not only she, her friends also goes on telling about color, material, size, and the characters, everything like that. We do some things, and also I got some more new ideas from this webinar, so I definitely going to implement all those things.
And that's really nice. I'm glad, ma'am. And of course, there are many resources and links that we can also share with you. So do let me know, and if you want, I can share them through an email with you all. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, I will. Yes, definitely. And that's wonderful. And like I said, the example that I gave from the child from this class, that shows that parents are aware. They're giving them their space, and they are also conducting inquiry through play at home. But the thing is that we just need to support it instead of just dismissing it just as play. Especially now that parents are teachers, this I think is more important than ever, to understand that you can learn through play. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And of course, do share your learnings also with us, everyone, and ma'am, you too. Let us know what is working at home so that we can do the same, we can use the same strategies in school too. So I would like to say a big thank you to all of you for being so patient with me and listening for all the information. I'm sure that you must have understood, got some idea or some more knowledge and extra knowledge from this. So if you have any queries, you can email me at abindra@wockhardt.school. And thank you so much for attending this webinar. Um,
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes, I couldn't be who
Thank you,
was in the
ma'am.
classroom. I can see that Mrs. Desai is also here. And Mrs. Desai, the story that you shared with us about Priyanshi making stories, creating her own stories, has really helped us to understand inquiry through play is happening effectively at home. So thank you, Mrs. Desai. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Uh, very soon I will be
Thank you for
sharing.
appreciating, ma'am.
Yes, very soon I intend to share Priyanshi's amazing stories with the entire group, but you're just looking for an appropriate platform. So very well done, Priyanshi. I'm sure many people now know that Priyanshi is a very good storyteller. Yes? Yes, so keep on creating, keep on learning, keep on playing. Thank you so much. And thank you for attending. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.